Hello. Okay, this is a Backrooms level I'm creating. This is an information video for the creation of it. So I'll go through what I've done so far, and then hopefully we'll have a decent video at the end of it. So I've created a section, one section, all the lighting, floors, ceiling, and the lights. Crawl space underneath for adding bits and bobs. And then so it's 3 floors on a maglev piston. The reason I've chose these on the mods is because that'll go to 50 meters, and I need that distance because this is a ever-changing maze. These timers control that piston, and that is a random generator to move it up 1 floor or down 1 floor, depending on what it or stay still, depending on what it lands on when it's triggered. So that's one section, everything inbuilt into that to move. I've then created 9 sections joined together, each numbered. They're all joined. And then I've created 9 sections of that. And this is the Backrooms level in here. So what I've got to do now is I've got to fill in all these gaps. The reason for the gaps was for the pasting. It wouldn't paste unless there was a gap between each section. Now each section of 9 is a completely separate entity. They're not attached to each other yet. I've got to get all my walls in, things like that, before I attach them all to get the triggers put in. So all these are sections of 9, all separate. And I've done that, it's mainly for the naming, because obviously when you're using paste, everything's the same. So if I had them all joined, and I say is right, move section 1, when this triggers, there'd be 9 sets of section 1 moving because of the naming. So I'm leaving them all separate until I get it all named 99 sections. So at the minute I'm filling in the gaps for the floors and the ceilings. And then I'll need to test that the pistons will rise the way I want them to when everything's touching, to make sure there's enough strength in the pistons to do that. Once I've done that, I can get me outer walls in and then start putting the maze walls in. All these central pillars are temporary until I get the walls in, because these are holding everything together. So if you think about it, you'd be in, and it's a canny size area, but that area will constantly change. The player won't see the change because I'll have locked off rooms that you've probably got to go through crawl spaces or something like that to get to the next point. And while you're going through the crawl space, which will be through here, so you would enter a room here. This would lock down, so the doors would lock. There'll be a ladder going into a crawl space. You'll probably crawl along here, la 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 la, and by the time you get to here, this whole level will change. So when you come out, everything's different. The central floor, because there's 3 floors, the central floor will be the player floor. The other floors will rise or drop into position at the certain points. So you're always going to be on this central floor when you're going through, and it'll rise and drop when you're in the crawl spaces or other stuff I've got planned. Until the new AI comes in, there's going to be no chase monsters. So I'm going to put some psychological scares in. I've got loads of plans for that, but I've got to get all the flooring, ceilings and the walls all sorted out first, so we've got a good space to work in. I'll have drops as well. There'll be dead drops, so there'll be holes in the floor. I've got tiles to come off in the ceiling, so I'll probably put a tile here and then punch that out. So you get so it looks buggered really. Things falling apart, things like that. I'm trying to get it as close to the Backrooms, the videos I've seen anyway, as I can. But that's what I'm working on at the minute. So this is the first information video. I'm busy filling in the gaps. When I've done that, and I've got all the floors and ceilings enclosed, we'll have another look to make sure the lighting's working correctly, because as you can see it's spazzing out a bit at the minute. It's because of the PCU, it'll spazz it out. So I need to find some way of dimming the lights a bit, see if I can get them all working. But it should be okay for that distance render, because I don't want you to be able to see from one end of the level to the other. I want that darkness in there as well. The level itself is up in the air. There will be windows at stages where you can see outside, but I'm going to have a fog weather. It's going to be heavy fog, so all you should see is heavy fog. You might see some distance scenery. I'm not sure how the fog will look, but I'll put that weather in, and I'll let it work out a beginning and end, and so when you come into where you start and how it ends. There's a couple of people going to be helping out here with different things. So hopefully we'll get a damn good level just to wander around and see how creepy we can get it. So there you go. That's what I'm working on at the minute. Hope that's good. Keep smiling and ta-ra now.